live on Facebook now anyway.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. It's Jay Michael here from Tyler, Texas. Welcome to Mentor Monday on November 24th. It's Thanksgiving week here in the United States. We've got a lot of families coming in and a lot of travel around the United States, but it's wonderful to be here on Mentor Monday. We've got a great um, presentation and training for you today. Just a couple reminders that I'd like to do. Found out this morning, I woke up on my checked my 4Life app, and it's BOGO is back. Got a great BOGO
Yeah.
here. I believe it's in the United States and probably Canada, but check your app, go to BOGO. We got 3 items, 2 for 1. It's a great time to stock up. And then the other thing I want to remind everybody that, gosh, for the last month and a half through December 31st, we have free enrollment. So with any purchase, you get a free membership to come in as a preferred customer. So don't forget that. It's a great promotion to help provide a more benefit for our customers. But that's my announcements for today. I'm going to turn it over to my good friend Jillian, who's down in St. Martin in the Caribbean. It's chilly here, as you can tell with me. I got my jacket on here in Texas. Actually had the fireplace going this morning. Jillian, welcome,
Well,
my friend. Take it over.
oh, thank you. Well, I don't have the problem of being chilly. I've actually got a little bit of a shine right now from the sun. But hey, for those who don't know, my favorite product, and I'm going to put my hand up right now outside on anybody listening to me. I don't use sunscreen. I live in the tropics and I don't use sunscreen, but when I do use something, and a lot of reasons why is because I don't take seed oil. So look into it for those that are into health and wellness. But I do use the Aqua skincare line. There's a sunscreen on that. It's an SPF 30. I put it in key spots because I am in high sun, but it is actually ocean and marine friendly for those friends who are watching. And I live in right next to a lagoon, and I watch all the marine life, and I don't want to disturb the ecostructure with them. My favorite product from the Aqua line, just so you know, I'm just sharing that right now. But on another note, because we are all about call to actions, and if you're not on this call or you're not actually able to watch the live, make sure you're inviting your friends and family to watch this call today. If you're a business builder or somebody that wants to see growth and sharing something good, you need to be on this call because a lot of people are talking about call to actions, but they don't know how to do it effectively. So today, I'm very thankful that we have, the time given to our team, but the global team, because it doesn't matter what team you're on. It doesn't even matter what business you're driving. It's about letting people know what you have and how can you effectively engage them so they come to you to get the message effectively quickly. So this is why we have Jade today. So Jade is going to be sharing with us. She's the U.S. sales manager overseeing social media. And I am really excited to have her come on board tonight to share some insights. And if you haven't seen the last training that she does, she joins us every month. And last month we did a Linktree training, so everybody's Linktree needs to look amazing. If they're not, then you make sure you reach out to your upline or go back and watch the video on Upline Pro, the global YouTube channel. But we also have this training now available from her. She was so gracious. I got a message at like my time. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, who's messaging me at 3 o'clock in the morning? And it's Jade. Oh, I found it. I found the training. I'm like, how awesome is that we have Jade from the U.S. sales manager, like that team, so conscientious to share what she knows that she's sending me messages at 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, my time, not her time, but it was just kind of nice to. She's in Utah. I'm over in St. Martin. So the fact that we have this global support is awesome. So today, Jade, I'm actually going to hand it over to you. We're going to just listen and learn,
Yeah.
record, take notes, and then I have some questions for you at the end, but I would love for you to just hand it over to you. So you tell me,
Awesome.
what are call to actions? Like, why is it important?
Yes. Yeah. You guys, I'm so excited to talk about this. I think it goes really well with Linktree and what we talked about last time. I think having a good call to action is so important because it really gives your audience a place to go, a thing to do, right? You need some action. So let's talk about call to actions. So again, for whatever reason, I can't do presenter mode because then you don't see my slides. So I'm just going to do it this way. Hopefully you all can see it this way. Okay, so what is a call to action? So the simple term of what it is it's telling your audience what to do next. So you're essentially leading them and directing them to the place that you want them to go. So whether that's your DMs, whether that's for engagement purposes, you want them to comment something, or you want maybe them to go to your link tree. There's a few, I've got so many examples, okay, in this training. So don't worry if if you are listening and you want to, take some screenshots or take some notes. There's going to be so many examples. Um, let's see here. Okay. So tap the link in my bio to learn more. DM me immunity for the info. Save this for your next grocery run. So without a call to action, content is passive. With a call to action, content converts. So simply, that is, without a call to action, your content is just going to be there. There's going to be no reason, no rhyme or reason for it. It's not going to convert as I have here, but really what convert means is you want to get strategic on what that means for you. Do you want a sale? Are you wanting to, have new team members? Are you wanting to create a conversation, build relationships? There's so many different strategies that you can have with your call to actions. And I highly recommend using ChatGPT to help you formulate what you want that strategy to be. Again, I think it's an incredible tool to use because you may not know what direction you want to go. And it might be that you need to brainstorm with ChatGPT to kind of figure out, and maybe you want to plan each week your call to action. So maybe you have 3 posts for the week. And you want all of your call to actions to kind of connect to each other and kind of, have a direction. So maybe you want to start out with just a soft call to action, and then maybe the next post call to action is just for engagement, but it's maybe in that similar, vein of posts. And then your third one might be, okay, this one is for actually having conversation in the DMs or whatever it is, right? So definitely want to kind of have that strategy going into it as well, because call to actions, they can also be all over the place, right? So you want to make sure that you know what is the most important to you for that particular post or that particular set of posts. So again, those are just some examples. Now, why are call to actions so important? So reason number 1, a confused audience does nothing. So people on social media, we are taking in all this information so fast, right? We're scrolling, we're moving. They have to have a direction. And on social media, we are really trained to do what we're told. I don't know about you, but I'll see a post with a really great call to action that's like, message me for the link or comment this for the link. And I'm like, well, this sold me. I want this. And so I just think if you can formulate, a really great post, but then telling them what to do next really is the key component for the direction of where they're going to go. Reason number 2, call to actions increase engagement automatically. So even if your call to action is super simple, like comment yes, or comment an emoji or whatever it is, that's going to boost your algorithm reach because, again, that's more comments. That means more people are interested in your content. So it's going to boost that post so that it gets seen by more people. Reason number 3, call to actions move people from interest to action. So that's what you want, right? You want to have the attraction marketing side, you want to have the emotional side of your posts You want to have the relatability. But if you don't have the action piece, that's the part that it kind of just stops your post in its tracks. It doesn't go anywhere else, right? Like you want to have that funnel of people where you can create relationships, you can continue to have conversations, and you're going to figure out as you go. All of this is trial and error. Your call to actions are always going to change. And you're going to figure out, though, what works best for you. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the different types of call to actions in just a second. So, again, why are call to actions so important? This is how you send people to your link tree. So these are the ways that you're using it, right? You're sending people to your link tree, you're starting conversations, you're sharing product information, you're inviting people into the business, you're building that warm audience, and you're making sales. So that's what call to actions do, is it's really all of these things. You could pick any of these things for your call to action of what you want out of it. What direction? Okay, so now the three different types of call to actions to use. And I think this is important because, it's going to be different for every post. And so you can kind of pick from each one what you're wanting out of it. Again, so type number one is engagements. So engagement on your post. So this is what's called like a soft call to action. So an example would be save this for later. Which one would you choose? Tell me below. So something like that, like which one would you choose? You could also do that on stories, different things like that. So an example of this would be, let's say you're using product, you could do, the two different collagens that we have. We have one that's unflavored, we have one that's flavored, and then talk about the benefits of both and talk about how they're different, but how they're the same. You can put one in your coffee and your tea, one you can add ice and it's refreshing. Which one would you choose? Tell me below. And so that's kind of a way to engage, but also talk about the product and talk about the benefits. Tag a friend who needs this. So maybe that's an encouraging post. Maybe that is motivational. Comment yes if you want the list. So something like this would be, maybe you have a list that you've created for something. This could be value oriented. So maybe you're giving value, and maybe it's a wish list, or maybe it is a product list. Whatever it is, it's giving value, whatever the list is. And again, this is all for engagement. Okay, so type two, this is your value call to action. So you're leading with helpfulness. You're leading with helping people with something. So these call to actions link your audience to value, maybe education, or a resource. So some examples here. The full recipe is linked in my bio. So this is where, you would have maybe in your link tree, you would have, a recipe link there. Want my morning routine? It's in my link tree. So with this one, I would maybe even take that a step further and say, want my morning routine? It's in my link tree and it's named my morning routine or something. And so then you could just call it my morning routine and have people go to that link. I linked my supplement stack for you. Okay, so DM me gut health and I'll send you what I use. So again, these are very helpful, more value type call to actions. Okay, so hopefully you see the difference. You've got your engagement call to actions, which is more comment, save this, that type of thing. So that's increasing your algorithm, engagement, all of those things. This one's a little bit more value. So you're giving something in return. You're, that type of thing. So you're pointing people to a link, you're pointing people to your DMs. And then for the type three, this one's a little bit more business and product. But I would say a little bit more on the business side. And this really goes hand in hand to me with the power post, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. But these are for selling, sharing, and team building. So some examples: ready to focus on your immune health? tap the link in my bio. If you want more energy, message me start and I'll walk you through it. Want to earn from home, DM me info and I'll send you the details. My link tree has the exact bundle I recommend. So with this, when it's product oriented with this type of thing, I'd almost say this is better for like today. It's BOGO. So you could have a post that is, my link tree has the BOGO deals going on right now. Click the link that says BOGO 2025 or something. And so then you could use it that way, or again, for the business aspect, this is where you're going to have a little bit more of the emotional side, which is why I think it's great for the power post, which I'll talk a little bit more about. Now, where can you add call to actions? You can add them to your captions. So on any post, you can add it at the very bottom of your caption. That's where your call to action goes. And then Instagram stories. Obviously, that's just on Facebook stories, Instagram stories. You can have a poll. You could have, question box on there. You can link things on your stories. So that makes it a little bit easier to have a call to action. If you want somebody to click the link, obviously you can add that call to action. And then on Reels, you can add your call to action not only in the caption, but you could actually add it to your Reels text in the Reel. So you could have a call to action there. And then your Linktree buttons are also a call to action, and so you want to formulate your Linktree buttons, which is on your Linktree on the list of all of your links. You can customize what you name them. So you could really have a call to action on each one, name it, whatever is going to link, from your call to action on the post. If you say, my Linktree link is called this, so that they match. But yeah, so this is where you add your call to actions. Now, tips to make call to actions natural. Tip number 1, lead with value first. Tip number 2, emotional language instead of sales language. And then tip number 3, make it easy. And what make it easy really means is, have one direction. So, you don't want it to be hard. You don't want the call to action to be complicated. You want it to be DM, or you want it to be comment, give them one action that's very easy and simple to do. And they'll be more likely to do that. The emotional language to me is just relatability. So especially on like a power post, this is where you're going to be on the more relatable side. You're going to be sharing your story or, sharing a testimonial or whatever it is. And so then your call to action, you'll want to reflect that same type of verbiage instead of it being salesy. Now, here's some for life specific call to actions. Immunity post, for example, energy pre-workout post, gut health story. So that would go on your story. Business invitation reel. So these are just more specific to For Life, feeling run down. These are the products that support my immune system. Tap the link in my bio. I linked my exact stack for you. So if you're talking about energy, if your workouts need a boost, I added my go-to routine in my link tree. Gut health. So this would be again on your story. And then you could have a poll. Want to see what improved my bloating? Vote yes on the poll and I'll send you details. And then business invitation reel. If you've ever wondered what it would look like to earn income online, DM me info and I'll send you a video or I'll send you a message, whatever it is that you feel, most comfortable doing. But this is kind of just, again, just some examples of how you can put this into practice. Okay, now I want to move to the power post. Okay, so the power post is part of the 10-4-1 strategy that I've spoken about before. This strategy is just a way really to get started on social media. I think it's a good way to stay consistent on social media. It's out of 15 posts, you have your 10 niche posts, your 4 attraction marketing posts, and your 1 power post. And your 1 power post is really about creating a strong CTA to build relationships, point people to your DMs, and then, of course, hopefully you inspire someone with your post. This is going to be where you use more of the emotional side, the relatability of, how you started or, those types of things. And I'm going to give some examples as well of 3 different types of power posts. But a power post is a post designed to build belief. So you want to build belief in the business model, the lifestyle possibilities, the community aspect of For Life and your team, the products, and your credibility. So this is really the point of the power post, and why it goes hand in hand with call to action so well is because, this is the post that should drive people to your DMs. It should drive people to a some type of communication with you. You want it to build relationships. You want it to connect you to your audience. Okay, so power post number 1. So I'm going to give you 3 different examples, and I really encourage you as homework to try out each one of these and kind of see, which one resonated with your audience the most, because then you can go from there and build a strategy from that when it comes to the power post. Because when you kind of figure out what works the best in terms of what did people relate to, what did people, really take action from, I think that's going to be really important in the trial and error process of this. So the why I started post. So this one is really simple. There's a formula that you can use. You want to show relatability and vulnerability. That's the purpose of it. So the formula would be what you were struggling with. So this would be before For Life, why this business spoke to you, one benefit you've already gained, and then the call to action to learn more. So I would highly recommend, again, to use ChatGPT to help you formulate what you want out of the call to action, what you want to get across in your post, and whether that's a reel or maybe it's just a selfie and you just kind of share your story a little bit. I would also say with this, it doesn't necessarily have to be why the business spoke to you. If you are someone who is more product centric, this could be, what about the product, made you want to share or something like that. So it doesn't have to be so business related for this if you don't want it to be. But, definitely share what you were struggling with before. Again, keeping it compliant if it is product related, why the business or the product spoke to you, one benefit you've already gained, and then your call to action. Okay, so here's an example. I started For Life because I wanted more energy and a way to earn from home during nap times. I didn't know if I could do it, but I said yes anyway, and it's become one of the best decisions for my family. If you've ever felt the same, DM me start and I'll send you what I saw. So this is just an example. It's very short. It's very to the point. You could do something longer. You could share more of, the details of your story if you wanted to. But this is just an example of, giving a reason and, it's the best decision that you made for your family. And then again, if you've ever felt the same. So this is again drawing on the emotional side. DM me start. So again, this is just an example. Please make it your own and make it, very relatable to you and your situation. But this is just a little example of what that could look like. Okay, so power post number 2, the what this business gives me post. So this is where you could show the lifestyle. The formula here, a real moment or win. So this could be big or small win, the feeling or freedom behind it, connect it to the business, and then a soft call to action, which the soft call to action could be, a little bit more like an engagement call to action on the post. Now for this, I feel like when it comes to the power post, I always say any for life event, Great Escape, anything like that really is the perfect opportunity to create an amazing power post. So if you've been to the Diamond Elite Retreat, if you have been to convention, if your team does, any type of meetings or things, those are all amazing opportunities to showcase the lifestyle and to showcase the community aspect, which that's gonna be in the next one. But it is a really great opportunity if, especially at convention, because you can get so much content in a short amount of time that you could use all year. And that's what I highly recommend doing because you can reuse and it's a perfect way to try out, different call to actions and different, parts of the experience and what's going to resonate with people most. But showing the lifestyle. For this, you could also talk about it feels amazing that I'm able to work from home all the time, that I'm able to go to my kids' soccer games whenever. I don't have to work around a 9 to 5 schedule, things like that. Like that's showcasing the lifestyle. Okay, so here's another example. An extra 200 made our weekend money stress free. Being able to work from anywhere means more time with my kids. I love that I get paid to grow personally and help people get healthy. A call to action example, curious how it works. I can send you a message. So this is, what the business gives you, right? So the business gives you freedom of time and it gives you hopefully an extra income. And, you don't have to shy away from talking about that. You can actually do it in a way where you don't even have to give numbers. You could just say something like, you know, working this side hustle has allowed me to pay my grocery bill this week. Something as simple as that. And that is such a powerful thing, I think, especially with just where our economy is and everything right now, that people are looking for ways to make extra money. And I think that this is a perfect opportunity to share this opportunity with people, right? This business opportunity. So something as simple as that can be really powerful. And then again, adding on that call to action, it's a great post. So this is just some examples here. Now, your power post, number 3, last power post, the social proof/community. So everybody joins for different reasons. And for me personally, I think the community aspect is one of the biggest reasons why someone would join. And so I think, again, this is where you can highlight mentorship, events, wins, friendships. Convention, again, is the best way to share the community is from convention, from Diamond Elite Retreat, all of those different things, the Great Escape. Celebrate someone, on your team, a leader, an event moment, share what that community means to you, and then invite others to be a part of it. So that's the formula for this power post number 3. So for this, you could talk, let's say, about convention. Let's say you could even do, if you went to last convention, you could do a throwback Thursday, you could do a flashback Friday, and, talk about convention and how excited you are for the next one, and talk about your team, talk about the community that you feel with your team and how, everybody supports each other. And, last convention, we celebrated these team members, hit this rank or whatever it is, and really share obviously the community aspect, the emotional part of it, your connection to it, and then invite others to hopefully join or be a part of your community. And again, a few examples, or one example here is today we celebrated a new leader on our team who joined as a busy mom with zero experience. This community lifts you, supports you, and teaches you. If you've been craving connection and growth, come sit with us. What I love about this is one, you're calling a leader on your team who has zero experience, but they are a leader, right? You build leaders through this business, and they don't have to have experience to join. They can be busy, they can have another job, or they can, be a stay-at-home mom or whatever it is. Like there is so much about this that really is for anyone who, has that ambition. So again, this community lifts you, supports you, teaches you. So it's showing people you're not just left alone, like come join the community and, succeed together kind of thing. So that's just a good example of that post. But again, I want to encourage you guys to utilize the three different power posts and try them out, in the next few weeks. Try out each style of power post, try out some call to actions, and just see what your audience relates to the most and take note of that. Even if that's just in your notes app on your phone, take a note and be like, okay, this call to action worked really well, or this post really resonated with people, and I got some DMs of people that related to it, whatever it is. Keep track of that. And then there are ways to reuse and kind of, reframe it. And yeah, so hopefully this gave you guys some ideas on how to utilize call to actions and power posts. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know where are you? You're still pinned, right?
I'm right here.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna add spotlight again. There you go. Okay, perfect. So thank you so much. That was so awesome. And
Yay.
I know there's a lot of references, but I do have a couple of questions myself, and
Yeah.
then I'll go into the chat.
Mhm.
Now that we've got their attention, Jade, and we've got them, they're hooked, and
Mhm.
they've messaged, they want to learn more, or, they've
Yeah.
answered your question. Do you have any advice on how to not look salesy? How do you respond, like, and to get them on a phone call? The best thing you do is try
Yeah.
to get them on a call, right? What is the best little
Yeah.
tip for you, or do you have any suggestive scripts for that?
I would say again, I feel like I always say this, but I feel like ChatGPT is a great tool for helping you come up with a script. I don't think For Life doesn't have any specific scripts. And if that's something that you guys would like to have, I can definitely put that into our queue on things that we can work on for you. But I would say in the moment, I think ChatGPT is a really great resource because it can help you, not be salesy. You could say, hey, I need to, word this in a non-salesy way that is warm and friendly and welcoming or whatever it is,
Yeah.
so that would be my advice. If you're somebody who has never worked in this type of field before, is to utilize ChatGPT.
And can I just based on I'm old school, right? So there's a lot of people like various age differences here. But one of the things I don't know about you, but one of the things that helped me, and I'm just going to sh share this with you, it just be natural, be authentic too.
Yeah,
ChatGPT's is a great resource for helping you stay compliant, say
yeah,
the right words. However, one of the things that I sometimes do myself because I'm also sometimes visually challenged, and we'll just get on and leave a message with Messenger. Like if I'm connected to
yeah,
them on Messenger, so
yeah.
hey, oh, thanks for responding. Oh, thanks for liking my post. Yeah, let's get together. Just a quick one. I appreciate you, reaching out. And let's book a time. What's
Mhm.
good for you? And a
Yeah,
lot of times, if it's a text message or however you've done the communication through WhatsApp, Instagram, LinkedIn, you're responding the way that they message you. So you
yeah,
respond the exact same way they message you
right.
and without fear. Like I think just leaving a quick message and they
Mhm.
hear your voice, they can
Yes.
generally hear the passion. Um, that's from my history that I know works. And I have to get better at doing
Yes.
that, because sometimes people are getting to the point now where I don't, this is my fear, Jade, and this is, is that when we look too cookie cutter,
Right.
doesn't seem real,
Yeah.
you know?
I love the idea of doing a voice note. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. And not to get too worried about it. And the less we share, the best, the better it is.
Right.
Okay. Like just, oh, I'm so excited to hear from you. Oh, let's get on a call, let's chat. And
Yeah.
let them talk. Like don't like
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I'm guilty of this too, Jade. I'm telling you right now, where I post long-winded, call to actions, or I'll put like a long message, not realizing I might be using my social media as a blog for me, which I'm
Yeah.
offloading everything that I'm feeling,
Right,
right?
right, right.
But keeping it
I know what you're
simple.
talking about. Yes. Yes.
But keeping it simple. When I want something done, just a quick message. And I love that. I love the tips that you shared. And I know we've already got Helena saying, "Can I have it?" And Helena's like, "How do I get this training?"
Oh,
So
good.
so if you can send that to us, we'll
Yes.
make sure it gets put into the Upline Pro Inner Circle. If you're
Yes, I
not part
will.
of our Upline Pro Inner Circle, that's where the trainings are going to be found. Okay. So if somebody can help me put the link in the community here to make sure that everybody's there, we'll also put it on the chat live. I just want to remind everybody that the chat live will go public after we finish. So right
Mhm.
now it is only visible to Dave's friends. So if you're not a friend of Dave's, you can't see the live, but we will be changing it to publics for those that are asking that question. And I do want to go through. Anybody here have another question here? Am I missing anything? Oh, I do have one for Erica, and I think I answered the question for Erica. But like about some of these call to action and some of the posts about compliance, and
Mhm.
compliance is a touchy subject, right? When it comes
Mhm.
to what can I say, what I can't
Right,
say, right?
right. Yep.
So maybe just to help, because I'm just gonna throw it out there. I know I even myself, get so excited, and I said some things and I got flagged. I'm not sure if it was actually from For Life, but from Facebook, or
Okay.
the meta world flagged me. And
Sure.
and you get scared because, oh my gosh, all I'm trying to do is share something powerful. But
Right.
then I got threatened that my account was going to get shut down, and the whole fear
Yeah.
factor there, right? But then recently, what I did notice over the last few months, I've had a couple emails from For Life Compliance. This is just sharing my story
Hmm.
and my experience.
Hmm.
And what was great is that she actually then highlighted exactly what I had done. And it was just something as simple as a hashtag. And be careful. This is something in my learning. I did use for like, Chat GPT, and I asked for suggested hashtags to make my posts look fabulous. However, I remember now I did not ask, can Chat GPT, can you make this for a life
Yeah.
compliant?
Yeah.
Always put that in your prompt, for
Yes.
a life prompt. And it was something as simple as a hashtag, financial freedom.
Yes. Yes. We can say time, like freedom of time, but
Yes.
financial freedom that's a sticky one. Yeah.
And there was another one, and I know we see this all out in the world. We have some people on that use this term before. Another one that I cannot use, and it's interesting because I saw it everywhere, was
Yeah.
miracle molecule. I heard the
Yes.
term miracle molecule, which I
Yes.
I heard tons, and like that was the one thing I was trained on when it came in. Oh, this is the term that's being used. And that was something else that got flagged. So don't worry if compliance reaches out to you. They're just informing you. That's it. So
Mhm.
I don't want anybody getting panicked, because even myself, I'm like, oh, I can't shut down my Facebook. I can't
Right.
shut that down. And it
Yeah.
was just now the process flow as eased, and I actually appreciate, because now I'm better at how I present myself. That makes sense,
Absolutely.
Jade?
Yeah.
So feedback on
Absolutely.
that?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I think that's some great advice for people is, telling ChatGPT, I need this to be compliant. And yeah, also reiterating what you're saying about, if For Life compliance team does reach out to you, know that you're not like in trouble. It is just sometimes a simple fix and a simple change in a wording or something. And typically they will show you what it is that needs to change. And if they don't, I would just ask them directly, like, hey, what is it about my post can I change? I don't want to take my whole post down. So, I think that that's a really important one. And then, also utilizing our compliance corner. I believe that's on the website still. That has a lot of really good information on there as well when it comes to staying compliant.
All right, thank you. So Dave, I know you got your hand up. Thank you. And then I do have one other point from the chat after. Thanks.
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Jade. Great,
Yeah.
great information. I always love learning from you. And that's why we all come together here is to learn, to develop, to grow. But I just wanted to mention something on the compliance issue since it's been brought up. Recently, it happened to me. I got a letter from For Life, and it was just like Jillian had just said, some social media post, and they basically told me which posts they were, the date and everything. They said, just go back and either remove this or change it. And that's one of the things about For Life that I like, is that part of their job is we live in a different world. When I started For Life, it was just this, talking to people. You didn't have this broadcast that goes out into the cyber world where everybody can see. So today, when I talk to people verbally one-on-one, I'm different than I am with posts, because in a one-on-one conversation, I can get more into depth. And that's frankly why we have our private Facebook groups. We've got Good Health Stories and Solutions, it's private. We've got our Upline Pro Inner Circle, it's private. So there we can talk about some of these things more in depth. But
Right.
the company's very good about letting us know, what. They don't just say, hey, you're in violation. And like, okay, what did I do? They tell you. And so I had to remove or change some posts. Ironically, just so you know, Jade, one of the posts went way back to when
Mhm.
Steve too was CEO,
No way.
and it was actually Steve's post. I
Oh,
just
how
reposted it.
funny.
And Steve had said, we just had a wonderful luncheon at For Life. I wore a pink shirt. And he put, yes, me. And I could see Steve in a pink shirt because it was celebrating breast cancer. And
Mm,
so he said, everybody knows someone who's been affected by breast. Just the fact that we're talking breast cancer,
mhm.
it was one of those areas of like we got to, because obviously we're not going to say we cure breast cancer.
Right,
But it
right.
was ironic that the post was actually Steve's. So I messaged Steve and I said, hey, Steve, you violated your own policy. But
That's so
the point is, I love the fact that the company does this. That's what keeps our company safe
yeah.
and what gives it a legacy company. So you guys don't have to worry. I've seen so many. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Vima, but there's a guy named BK Braco. Three companies now. He started and they crashed because he doesn't listen to the regulatory agencies. Metal Botanical, New Vision, and Vima. All three of those. In fact, J. Michael knows Vima. They all crashed because of non-compliance. So anyhow, I don't want to get off on a tangent, but I do want to say this: the posts, these calls to action and so forth. Well, if you just discipline yourself and you're consistent about pretty much anything, because that's what, if you want to be successful at anything, it's about the discipline, having the discipline and being consistent. Two things will happen if you do that. One, you inspire others. I call them the two I's, and that's these two I's are extremely important in our business. Inspiring others. You see, we're emotional people. We make decisions on emotion. All right. Inspiration is one of those emotions. Everybody loves a great inspirational story. And that's why we always say stories are important. We love to hear stories. I started my business broke, and now I've got this global network, and I am financially independent. And so, but that's my story. Everyone's building their story. It's your story that will inspire people. So have the discipline to do this, and you will inspire people as they see. I had people actually call me in the early days and say, Dave, I can't believe it. You're just every day. My posts were not on the internet, they were on the phone. I was on the phone. My tongue hurt some days. I was talking so much to people. Number two, influence. As you continue and you have the discipline and you're making your posts, you're talking to people, and you just work the numbers, law of averages. They'll always work in your favor if you work the law of averages. And you get better at influencing. And I just had this conversation with Vickers before this Zoom right now. We were talking while I was out taking my baby boy out for his walk today. And we were talking about that because this is his first full month in the business. And so he's planting seeds. As you plant those seeds with people, the fortune's in the follow-up. You've got to follow up with these people. And as you grow and as you develop, you show these people, I'm doing this. I told you I was going to do it. I'm doing it. And then all of a sudden they start seeing what you're doing and you start inspiring more and more and more people. And you have to work, we all have to work on our ability to influence others, influence them by just simply, like you just said, asking the questions. I like trigger questions. What do you think? How do you feel? Things like that. And that way they have to tell you. And the number one reason that people don't jump on something like this is because they don't believe. If I pulled up in front of your house with a brand new Mercedes Benz 500 series, 2026, it's worth over $200,000. And I said, hey, I just got this car off the lot. They said they didn't want it. It's brand new. You can have it for $1,000. I guarantee you would crawl. You would do whatever it took to get that $1,000 to have this car because you see the value. It's right in front of you. So part of our when we're posting, doing the post, influencing, inspiring others, part of our job is to get them to see the value of what we have. When people see the value in it for themselves, everybody tunes in WIFM. What's in it for me? You see, by showing them the value, that's where people tend to say, you know what, I get it, I see it. And at the end of the day, I was telling people, you've got nothing to lose and a lot to gain. So why not try? Join us, come and see. Give me a year of your life, and let's see what we can do. So anyhow, but thank you, Jade. Appreciate you taking the time to be with us. I really enjoy these monthly Zooms with you.
Yeah, happy to, you guys. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All
guys.
right. Okay, so I just on that note, I know you're going to be coming back. Oops, coming back in a month. Actually, probably in the new year, based on your schedule. So we're going to try to get you in. You let us know if you can come in for the first week of January. And then, so every month, we're very fortunate. So this is why it's really important that you invite people to these calls, to learn how to build your business through social media. And thank you, Jade, for that and committing to that once a month. It gives you great content. You can practice with us and if you can send us a copy of the presentation, we'll put it inside the Upline Pro Inner Circle community. So you have to be a member. I did put in the chat the invite to join the Inner Circle community. If anybody has any questions, this is an opportunity to reach out right now before we go and let Jade go off. We've got a couple minutes to let Jade go. Anybody have questions? Nope, we're all good? Okay. All right. So on that note, then, just for the interest of time, I'm just going to close it off and let you know about the events that's happening this week. We do actually have something new happening tonight with the Detox Diaries. We will be streaming live inside the private group. So I did put the actual the link to the group. If you're not a member and you want to show up for the Detox Diaries, you can watch it live inside the Detox Diary at 8 p.m. And then for the actual Zooms, if you want to get on the call for a Q&A with Dr. Ronnie, you have to have been a participant. So it's just to keep the conversation private, to allow us to talk about things that might be more sensitive that we don't want to publicly stream. And it's for members only. There's a reason why we have a members only private community. It's for access not only to Dr. Ronnie, but also to insight and counsel and consults with the trainers and coaches, so that we talk about specific things. And that's one of the benefits of being part of our detox community. So, but you can attend the live tonight. Claudia is going to be doing a presentation with Dr. Ronnie on, of all things, how to cheat through and not feel guilty during the holiday season. And two of my favorite products, which we don't talk about, and I keep it in my bag, And I remember I live on a Caribbean island where we eat a lot of rice and peas, like and grilled chicken. So I have my Shape Right with me. So I take it half an hour before I go and eat those carb-loaded foods, and that helps me digest those foods faster. And I also use Burn. We're going to talk about why you should have those in your bag when you're going out. And over the holiday season. So that's going to happen tonight. Thank you, Claudia, for doing that presentation. Tomorrow night is about salt. Shake it or leave it. And that is going to be great. This is going to be a great conversation about should we have salt? Why should we have salt? Do we need salt? How's it going to affect our body? And what can we do if we think we have too much salt, or do we need to have too much salt? And that's guess who's going to be on that call? That's the Share Good Health Talk, and that's going to be with Gabriella. Anybody who knows who Gabriella is? We don't know her. Well, you got to be on these calls 'cause I love listening to Gabriella. She is raw. She educates me on so much. If you're not a friend of her on social media, you got to be following what she posts. It's amazing. And then also Dr. Ronnie's going to be on with her. So the two of them are going to be like, a mother's version and Dr. Ronnie's version. They're going to be having a great talk tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And then we also have Dr. Gina during the day. But Wednesday night, oh my gosh, if you're not going to the Life Legacy calls with Dave, you have to show up. You cannot, we do not record this. This is talking about compliance and being unfiltered and being an opportunity to have that real talk conversation in a safe bubble environment, which, we don't even allow screenshots in there. This is where Dave gets to share what he knows. His how many years in the industry, Dave?
Since 1981, 44.
So, okay, so wow. So 44 years in the industry and one of the top leaders, one of the nicest people, most ethical people I've ever worked with. And by the way, I chose this company, but I also chose the team. So for me, who was not an affiliate, but came from corporate and then decided to pick my legacy company just alongside many of you, I chose the people first and the leadership first and the ethics of this company. And Dave was my closer. So just so you guys know that. So for those listening out there right now, the fact that we have the support of people like Jade, the US sales manager, coming in to support the team, the global team, the fact that you guys showed up today, you have a privilege and we are all growing together. So thank you everybody for each and every one of you showing up on Mentor Monday. Next week should be a good one. We have another Medical Mentor Monday coming up in a couple of weeks. I know it's Christmas, so we're going to be having some Christmas celebrations in a few more weeks, but it's Thanksgiving. So I'm going to give you thanks for those who are in the States. I'm not. I'm in France, technically France in the Caribbean. I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving for all my USA partners. And I'm going to let you, Dave, close it up for today. Okay?
Thank you, Jillian. Yes, here in the USA, it's our Thanksgiving week. So many of us are going to be taking some time off with our families. Thursday is Thanksgiving. And generally, it's one of those weekends, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A lot of people are traveling. In fact, it's the heaviest traveled weekend of the year in the United States, Thanksgiving. And so those of you that may be traveling, we hope you're safe, be safe, and enjoy, time with your families. And let me tell you, we'll close on this. I just don't believe that this is coincidence for me. This time of year has always been a great time for my business. People are just in that spirit of giving, of joy, and just family and all that. And some of my top affiliates, my platinums that I've personally sponsored, I got them in December, all right, or during the holiday season. In fact, one of them was between Christmas and the New Year. I made the first call on December 27, 2 days after Christmas. And I'll never forget, he was, hem-hawing around, and he had a very negative attitude at first. And rightfully so. He was with a company that crashed, and he wanted to start all over again, but he had fear, just like I did. He was afraid of going through the same type of business failure. And I got him. It took 4 phone calls, but I got him. And he's one of my platinums today. Many of you know him. His name's Jeff Outgilbers. And so I want to encourage all of you, take advantage when you're out and about, especially those of you that are celebrating Thanksgiving. You're going to be around people. Talk. Have the discipline to have the habit of sharing. Don't push people. I don't push it on people, but I like to talk. I love to talk about everything from the science of my products to working from home. I'm in my office. In fact, I show people my office. They come over to my house. I'm like, yeah, here's where I work. I don't have to deal with all the traffic and all the other, stuff that everyone has to do day to day. And again, when you do that and plant seeds with people, just timing. You get people at the right time and they're ready, you're going to get them. So anyhow, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We appreciate you. We love you. And we're here to serve you. And we want you to achieve your dreams, your goals and dreams. And we're going to do it together. So thank you, Jillian. Your mic's off. Your mic's on.
Okay.